Okay, welcome back to our. Oh, as soon as I hit that, it jumped up to. Okay, welcome back to our Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea campaign. Uh, we are. The party is back on their boat after having spent some evening hours on the Crystal Point Island, kind of exploring to see what might come. And some of these coppery colored creatures called Oon took some canoes off and headed towards where their boat was uh, anchored. Unfortunately, most of the party couldn't get there, but the wizard Eka was able to join the fight that happened at the boat, and him and one of the crew member have survived and kind of moved the boat over onto the side of the island where the party is now rendezvoused with them, and we've got everybody back on the boat. So it is the evening of the ninth day of the third month of the 11th year. It's cloudy and warm, 70 degrees. As we'll cut to the boat, you guys can intro your characters, and we'll kind of go from there. Let's see. We'll start at the top with Nikki. Tell us about your character.
I play Penesta, the bard. Penesta has had a traumatic few days with losing Brickhild and then bringing her back. And now they've discovered they seem to be remembering things that only the other one knew. And now she's very, very upset about losing so many of the crew members. She feels a little bit devastated because they weren't there to help fight with Ika and the rest of them. So she's kind of she's feeling a little down, but she's she'll get past it. She's tough. So that's Penesta, the bard.
Excellent. Tony, tell us about your character.
Oh, that's just enough. No, no more. A dash of this, a pinch of that. You see the white, silvery haired warlock standing there, and she's stirring in some stuff and putting in some stuff as she's in the galley making what looks like almost a bowl of oatmeal mush looking stuff. No, that's the way mom made it, I think. As she looks up and she sees herself standing on a shore in the city of Khromarium or at the docks watching these ships come in, and she goes, who am I? Where am I? Oh yes. She continues to stir up the bowl. She finishes it and she goes to Eka's room, and Eka tells her to come in, and she says, I made you something to help you with your strength. I wanted to say thank you again for saving the ship, even though we lost crewmen. That's happens, but the main thing is you saved the ship. That's what counts in this. But this should help you with your strength. As she turns around and heads up top of the deck, she goes once again, who am I? Brickhild, the imposing.
Excellent. Brighild, back from the dead and experiencing some interesting traumas. Let's see. We've got Crystal. Tell us about your character, Crystal.
I play Xenia, who is a ranger of Artemis. She, even though she's a commoner by birth, she was raised in Paradoxon, which is in New Amazonia. So she has many Amazonian ideas, including the worship of Artemis, especially since she was brought up in a temple of Artemis. So she is now going around the boat, praying both for those who have passed away that they will find peace in the afterlife, and also trying to hedge off any evil spirits that might be trying to attach to them as they are considering now lifting anchor, I guess, and going somewhere else. And that is Xenia.
Excellent. Right, exactly. You currently even with the party members that can sail the boat, you're very, very low crewed out here, kind of in the middle of nowhere, and new to the crew, but not new to all of them, I suppose, is Rush's character. Tell us about your character, Rush.
So after the death of Baal, um, the party was down some members, and there was one particular young lass who was a sailor aboard the Fortune that brought several of the other party members to new party members into the fray. A young Viking girl named Revna, who with black hair and wearing dark leathers and a dark hood. Not the warrior that one would often expect of her people, but one who tends to keep more to shadow and perhaps a little smarter than the average person. Definitely more athletic and spry, one would say. She knows her way around a boat somewhat, but she came and asked the crew if she could join, for she did not want to be left behind on the island where her ship had wrecked. And she's determined to get off this island one way or another. And as of right now, it appears that she is going to get off the island. She's hoping not to return, but who knows what will happen with adventurers. And that is Revna, the Viking legerdemainist.
Excellent. Okay, so yeah, so as I noted, it's dark. It's a kind of a warm night. I mean, for Hyperborea, it's about 70 degrees. The moon is out, and looking at the ship, fortunately, there was no damage to the ship itself. It seemed like they tried to mount with canoes and climbed up the sides. The canoes were lost, of course, in the battle. So the ship itself seems to be in decent shape, aside from the loss of life, which of course is terrible. And as noted, with the crew that you have now, you can sail, although certainly not fast and with no real protection. You'll have to, if you had to fend off anything while you were sailing, you'd basically be free flying. So with your type of boat, you can as long as you stay about 24 miles or so within eye shot of the, because remember Hyperborea is flat, so you can see pretty far, of the shore, you're pretty good. There's a couple of stretches that you'll need to cross in order to get back to Krenfak. At the very least, from Krenfak, you're close enough to the mainland that it shouldn't be a problem, but you believe that sailing back during that first stretch is going to be a little bit dangerous, but after that, you should be close enough to the shore to get wherever you're going. But I guess that comes down to what you guys want to do.
Those two larger boats that were there, the ones that you said, one of them we could probably use it and tow it behind our ship. Is that right?
Sure. Yeah, you could definitely. Yeah, they wouldn't be. I mean, you'd have to be a very good sailor to take one of them across this area by itself, but you certainly could tow them. Yeah, they're probably half the size of your boat.
Yeah, Brickhill would suggest her suggestion would be to at least tow one of them and maybe possibly destroy the other one so no one on the island could use it.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
Yeah, you essentially have the equivalent of a cog, because you actually have a junk, but you have the equivalent of a cog, and what these are is they're basically, I guess they would be small, like a river sailing boat size. So again, if you were a good sailor, you could take them across. So you definitely can sail one, and of course, obviously, if you go If you go into a river, it'll go up where the cog wouldn't, so it might be useful to have. But you can't take it on as a lifeboat. It's too life raft rather. It's too big for that. But you could definitely tow it. And destroying the other shouldn't be a problem. You could either just set it aflame where it is, or you could certainly drag it out into the water and do that if you don't want to. If you don't want to cause a fire in the woods, it's kind of up to you. Do you want to do that tonight while it's dark, or do you want to wait till the morning?
She'd probably suggest the morning, right when they were about to leave out.
Yep,
Okay.
that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yep, sounds good.
Sounds good to me. Let me just check something. 6, 7. Yeah, okay. Cool. All right, so the night passes without incident. Beyond the ranger is praying for the lost. People are the remaining sailor is pretty beat up, if you remember. So Helena, the cleric that's with you, heals the sailor with her magic, and she she's down to do whatever you guys are up for. At this point, she's seen a lot of terrible things just like you have, but nobody's really collected very much treasure. And, she makes that known that it would be nice to, since she signed on for a percentage of the treasure, the measly amount of treasure that you picked up is not very much. So, but, she just kind of, she's also not a fool. So she realizes that you need more crew and does what she needs to do to help out. So, yeah, morning comes. The sunrise here is on the 10th day is at 8:05 a.m. So as the big bloated Hyperborean sun rises up over the side of the flat continent or flat Earth, you see the island out in front of you. There seems to be a bit of a storm brewing over the island. You can kind of see the clouds darkening and the sky above it. Strangely, maybe, or maybe not so strangely, now that you've been here for a while, it seems to be over the island. You remember the last time there were some pretty heavy lightning strikes that you couldn't really see where they ended up, but there's been kind of some strange weather as of late. But you certainly can get to the shore using one of your rowboats, one of your lifeboats, I should say, and do what you need to do. Let's just see if anything on the island stirs while you're there. So, Crystal, roll me a d6.
Oh yeah, of course you'd pick me. 6.
6. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, I mean you're able to do it pretty easily. You grab the one boat and sail it back, or there's probably like that thing where you got to move the boats back and forth. But you're able to, you're not that far offshore that you can pull that sailing boat out into the water and kind of drag it back, or maybe row it back along with your lifeboat and get yourself set up. You set the other boat aflame. Nothing seems to really stir in the woods. Obviously, if you wouldn't fire occurs, of course, any of the small animals and stuff move away from the fire. But nothing large or anything like that comes and bothers you while you're doing what you got to do. So we'll say by like 10 o'clock-ish, you've got this small river sailing boat in tow with your large ship, and the smaller boat is aflame and definitely not going to be usable again by anybody. Yeah. So what is the plan? You're sailing back? Is that my understanding?
Well, we need more sailors. I am not a sailor. I can help and do what I can, but we definitely need to find a real crew, and that probably will be best done in Xambaala. I hate to say.
I think it is the best idea also.
I certainly wouldn't mind heading somewhere like Xambaala. I would like to visit one of the large temples of Artemis.
Xambaala is an idea. It's not the best idea. Eric's Guard is the best idea, but I understand why you don't want to sail that far. But I reckon hopefully the Xambaalans will do better than the last crew.
Also, Revna Panesta has a contact there in Xambaala that maybe can help us get good people at a decent price, we would hope also.
I hope so. I don't know how he's going to feel about us not saving the children.
Well, it would be best, though, to tell them exactly what happened and
Oh yeah,
go from there.
Aramis and I are always honest with each other. So.
Sure. All right, so I'm just going to share the map just so you have an idea of where you're going. Okay, so you're out here, right? Just beyond, actually, where you are is not even on the map, but you're actually out here a little bit. Because you need to remain within the furthest you can be is 3 squares, 3 hexes from any piece of land in your boat. You're going to have to basically sail along, like this stretch right here is going to be tough. We're going to have to roll for that, but the rest of it you can do slowly but surely. Once you've sailed to like around, you can see my mouse, right? Here, then you can kind of shoot across and come down like that and staying along the coast. You want to end up in Xambaala, which is down here, which my rough math tells me that if you don't stop at all, it's going to take you about 23, 24 days to get there. It will be the fastest you can get there. Did you want to stop in Krenfok, or are you just going to skip it?
I would say skip it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Skip it.
All right, so because there is that one large stretch, you only have one sailor. Although everybody, actually, would you roll to see if your character knew how to sail, Rush? I think we said that she automatically did because you kind of put that in your backstory. So
Yeah.
Everybody can sail at least a little bit, right? So we'll give a pretty good chance. One of you can roll it. You can have a 4 and 6 chance that there's no issues crossing that area. Whoever wants to roll that 4 and 6. If you fail, then there'll be possible repercussions.
Come on, Viking.
Yeah. I'm sitting here about to say, who's the lucky one? It's like,
you.
So
We
roll a
elect you.
D6. Yeah, if you get a 5, then we'll say some damage to the boat. If you get a 6, it's going to be a storm, so that could cause some more damage. So, and if you get 1 through 4, then we'll say that the gods were with you and you made it across no problem. All right.
Thank you, blessed Artemis,
Excellent.
for seeing us safely.
Yeah.
She looks.
You've actually. What's funny is I rolled the weather for the most of this month, which we're not going to use. A lot of these days are strong breeze, so you actually make this one day that was a gale. So I guess the day that was a gale, we'll say, was not the day that you were in the middle of the space. That day maybe you moored or you were close, but the days that were strong breeze, you actually make a very good time, and you're able to you pass Krenfok, you head down across that area into the Eskimo Bay. I don't have to map out for you, but. And down across that area, you do see when you come close to the Eskimo Bay, you see the whaling ships and such that are common in those areas. So that would be like if you're in, you guys are in roll 27 map there, I guess. I did put you on the right map on roll 20, right? Do I have you? Nope. Once again, I have you on the wrong map. There we go. Now you're there. So out and about in these areas, you get the whaling ships from Eskimo Bay. And then you get this kind of like this coast up here is pretty deserted, but we're going to do one, since Rush already survived his roll, we'll do one roll for each person to see if anything interesting happens. Crystal, give us a roll on a D6. See if anything interesting happens on C.
All right. 1.
Hey, fantastic.
You're welcome.
All right.
I did that just for you.
I know, you did. You got to keep things exciting. Okay, so go ahead and roll a D12.
Okay. 12.
Oh,
Oh,
look
no.
at you.
Either really good or really bad.
Oh, yeah. Roll a D3.
Okay.
Or D6.
3 Krakens.
Yeah.
3 Krakens.
RD.
Oh.
1. Only 1 Kraken.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. So, let's see, where would that be? Well, that's about halfway through the journey. So probably somewhere out here in Eskimo Bay. This is actually probably not great, but all right. So as you're sailing, you happen to be up on deck. It's kind of the morning. Maybe you're out doing your prayers to Artemis, and you look out into the sky and you see that there's some strange cloud patterns. You can't help but kind of staring at them. They just look very strange to you. And maybe you're about to call to the rest of the crew that maybe some strange winds might come. And more or less in front of your eyes, you can see the clouds start to kind of form together, almost to the look of an old man with a long beard that seems to just drip down into the sea. And he almost has a sly smile, this giant cloud shape that's kind of looking like an old man's face. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, there's a massive breeze that pushes you deeper into the ocean. So you actually get pushed pretty far. So it's going to add 2 days to your journey, but because of where you are, let's say high-low to see if you get pushed into the shore to possibly crash into the shore, or if you go deeper into the ocean. So what do you like? High for? Well, you tell me which one you want, but high or low, Crystal?
Let's go low to get pushed out in the ocean.
Okay, so high pushes you towards the shore.
Yes.
Which is exactly what happens. Okay, fantastic. So this wind kind of rushes in, and it crashes you into the shore. Which, because it says it's going to add 2 days to the journey, what's going to happen is you get caught up on like a reef. So you're basically in Eskimo territory for 2 days repairing the boat. So let's get 2 random encounter rolls while we're here. Tony, you can roll the first one.
That is a 4.
All right. Doesn't seem like anybody's paying attention to you, or else nobody's around. And Nikki, go for the last one.
Okay. D6. 5.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, once again, well, I mean, then again, who knows? You might have met friendly Eskimos. It's you're either left alone or nobody really sees you, and you're able to make some repairs to the boat and get back on course. All right. So as you're kind of bridging around that kind of forested area, let's get a roll from Tony to see if you guys encounter anything there.
That's a 6.
Whoa! All right.
Huh.
Tony's luck's holding up. And the final encounter will be somewhere on the way to Xambaala, if there's one at all. So, Nikki, give us a d6 roll to see if we encounter anything on the way to Xambaala.
Okay. 3.
Okay, so nothing too bad. You did add 2 days to your journey, so we're going to drop you in about the... fantastic. The 7th day of the 4th month of the 11th year. It is Phobius, or known to the descendants of this world as Saturday. But more importantly, well, it would have been important to Muda, but he's not around anymore. It's only 35 degrees. But also, tomorrow is the 8th day of the 4th year. And everybody knows what that is. That is the festival of... Yep, that's the festival of Saturnalia.
Oh my God.
Yeah, right.
So wasn't it Saturnalia the last time we were here?
I believe it is. Yeah, I believe it was. Yeah. Oh no, I don't think so. Maybe.
I was just saying,
you were. Yeah, it was the last time you were. You've experienced this festival before. Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, when we were in Xambaala, there was some kind of huge holiday.
Yeah, it wasn't this one. And the reason why I know that is because it says except year 7, and you were there on year 7. So.
Okay.
So let's see. Where are the festivals?
There's no place like home for the holidays.
All right, so let's see how the worshippers of Saturn. All right, so this annual extravaganza was initiated by the Zaquathlans to celebrate their god's arrival on Saturn. Oh, right, he's on Saturn. Saturn is promenaded in the night sky, and since it remains the dwelling place of many of Zaqua's kin, that's the frog god, of course, it's regarded with great reverence. 2, the Hyperboreans are said to have history on the ringed planet, where anti-mundane secrets and arts of drummercraft once were revealed to them. This festival is not commemorated by Hyperboreans alone, however. Okay, so let's say celebrated by indulging in excess of feasts, orgies, wild music, sacrifices, lotus shooting, and snake handling. Let's see, time of utter chaos. So this will be a good time to find sailors when restrictions are relaxed. So yeah, you guys are coming into Xambaala during basically Mardi Gras. Yeah. Midnight banquets are held. So yeah. When the extravagance midnight banquets are held by general waning over the next 3 days, people wear masks, hats, bristle with feathers, loose colorful garments, and nakedness is not uncommon on the fourth night, which is the full moon climax. So essentially you're coming in, oh right, this is a double full moon this week on the 11th. So yeah, you're coming into Xambaala during a huge festival. So as you kind of pull the boat in, or you're pulling into the bay, you can just see there's just like there's a lot of boats there that seem to be I'm not abandoned as if like there's no crew on there, but you see like just skeleton crews, like clearly like the crews have all left the boats and gone into Xambaala to prep for the festival, which starts tomorrow. So yeah, what is the plan as you guys kind of pull into the bay of Xambaala?
We see all this happening.
Well, it's not going to happen until tomorrow, but you know what the date is and stuff. Obviously, you're on a ship, you keep track of the date and stuff. So as you're pulling in, you're probably thinking, like at first you were probably thinking, oh good, we're going to get in just before the festival starts so we can get our sailors and get out. And now you're probably thinking, oh great, the festival's going on, we're not going to be able to hire anybody for at least a week. Because the chance of hiring people during this festival is pretty slim, especially mercenaries and sailors who are the type that would really indulge in such things. So if you want the best crew, you're probably going to have to wait. If you just want to get back, then obviously you can there will be some available, but you won't have the pick of the litter as it would be. You'd know that pulling in.
It would seem that our timing is not perfect. Maybe it would be best to lay low here for a few days until things settle down. And Zinnia, I know you wanted to visit temples, and I think Echo wants to do some research and stuff, probably at the libraries, and Nesta and I can maybe get the word out. But I would say we definitely do not be in a rush.
Nope. And I can talk to who I can talk to help get the word out. Plus, he says we can stay there, so that's nice. It's a nice place.
Yes, it is.
If you want to, Brighild, or we could get a nice room or something.
What is that place that you stayed at before? You remember?
The first place, the Saturn's Luck?
Yes, and was that not halfway decent? Your friend, I do not know about staying at his place. There's always favors you have to cash in for favors that are given, and which I don't mind helping the man. He seems that he can pay well.
True, but Saturn's Luck was a little bit dingy. I do remember moving to a different room after we had some money, so we don't have to stay at the caravanserai, but I'd like to at least stay in a nicer room.
Yes, that will be fine. Whatever your choice. You are more familiar with these places than I.
Okay.
I might end up staying at the temple. I need to speak with people there and see what arrangements can be made.
Okay. But you are welcome to stay with us if your business it doesn't take that long and you need a place to stay.
I appreciate it.
How about you, Revna?
Well, this does seem like a town where a girl could get herself in all kinds of trouble. either by accident or on purpose. But I think that, well, I mean, at least for the first night, I'd prefer to stay with people that I've been on the boat with you guys for almost the last month. So I think I'd rather stay with people that I'm a little more familiar with. So if I'm welcome, I would stay wherever you guys are.
Of course. So I would want
Yes.
to find one. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Tony.
No, go ahead, Vanessa.
Okay. I'd want to find one of those rooms like we've rented before, if that's possible. It's a little nicer and things like that. I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be hard
Saturn's,
with the festival, but
yeah, you're just gonna pay through the armpits. So yeah, Saturn's luck is basically like a handful of copper to sleep basically in a big open room where everybody else sleeps. It's for people who have no money essentially. So right, last time you guys had ended up renting a private room. So you certainly can do that. We'll say, I mean, there'll be one available if you have enough money and you're willing to spend it. So, and you do, you're going to pay, way more than you should, but such is the way, right? But yeah, you can find a room. We'll say on that same block area where you guys were before. It's like down the street from Saturn's Luck, where there was some rooms where you can rent basically the floor. That's how you did it last time. But they remember you, of course, and they give you the best deal, which is like 10 times what you paid last time. Because it's the festival. But yeah, as you land, I guess you'll take one. I guess you'll leave your sailor on the boat. Gotta leave somebody there. Well, I guess Ekka's on the boat. Ekka and oh god, then the druid. If you trust them.
Google.
Yeah. They're on the boat. So you and whatever, if the sailor wants to stay, you are able to take your basically your lifeboat, the one they use to move back and forth on, or you can take the riverboat, whatever you like. But that's kind of big to dock. So we'll say you take a lifeboat down, and you can get up into the proper, Xambaala proper. The Xambaala map here somewhere. I think I might have taken it away because I didn't think you were going to go back. Oh no, I do have it. There we go. Yep, go ahead.
Zinnia is gonna leave her magical scimitar and also her composite longbow. She's gonna leave those on the ship, and she's just gonna take. She's gonna wear the studded armor she's currently wearing, and just take a short sword with her to be on land, just to have a little something.
Okay, yeah, for sure, definitely can do that. Again, I don't think Xambaala, they're not going to like take your weapons, but if you walk around, we talked about this before, with heavily armed, you will definitely stand out.
Which is why she's leaving her scimitar.
Sounds good. Yeah, so you guys are able to dock. You're kind of far out because again, there's boats everywhere, but you can just drop anchor essentially and take your life raft back to the city proper. You dock it there. You give some gold pieces to the guy at the dock to hold onto the boat, or maybe your sailor comes out and brings you however you want to do it. Yeah. So if you remember, I get you on the map now. Saturn's Luck was. Let me look at the map so that see if I can remember where it was. It was. I believe it was here. Is that
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you got a I think the building like down here or something was where you rented from. So you can definitely head there. The Caravan place is over there with your buddy there. If you want to go there, and of course this is the marketplace where they probably don't remember you anymore after so many years.
Right.
But yeah, you definitely can get.
You're gonna walk over there. They're gonna be like, "That was that woman years ago."
Yeah, and basically, you're able to, again, secure the room, paying way more than you should for it. You can tell that like he probably had somebody for the room already, but they're not there yet. So he's kind of like, if you move in right now and give me the money, and you're able to get yourself a secure room that's private. Nothing's really happening yet, except you can see people. People are getting ready. They know that once this festival starts, that nothing's getting done. So you can see people rushing around, getting things prepared for basically tomorrow. As you come into into the room and drop your gear off or whatever to get yourself settled. So we'll say it's midday just to make life easy. So that means it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. What is the plan in Xambaala? I mean, do you want to explore?
She's going to go to Revna and say, Revna, I know you're capable of taking care of yourself, but I'm sure Panesta can share the story better than I can, but I would not go alone at night in the city. There are dangers out in the city at night, and people are known to disappear. But you should always have someone with you.
I appreciate your concern.
There's the bell, the Eventide bell. I don't know how it works during the festival, but you don't really want to be alone on the streets after the bell.
That's good to know.
Okay.
I am fairly skilled at moving about without being able to be seen, but that's definitely good to know.
Yep. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Crystal.
Zinnia is just heading towards the temple, like when they get off. And I was gonna ask if like what the temple is like, if it's a big temple or not.
No, it's not. So there's temples to virtually every god in that's worshipped in Hyperborea in Xambaala, but the vast majority of Hyperboreans, well, the Hyperboreans, the vast majority of Xambaalans that aren't the slave caste worship Helios. So there's a huge temple to Helios. There's also a kind of small temple to Rel, and there are temples to other gods, but they're not big. They're going to be like in this district up here. This is like a temple district. So you go up there. There's like lots of temples. So no, it's not.
Hey Daniel, what did you say about the Temple of Helios again? I missed that.
The Temple of Helios is the big one. That's the one right here on the map. Has a giant statue of Helios.
Oh, that's right.
Also, there's some libraries and stuff there. You guys have been there before. Well, not well. Actually, Brick Hill might have been. It overlooks the main thing, but most of the Xambaalans that are not the slave caste worship Helios. I mean, you would know you've been around here long enough that well, I guess you know that the slave caste really doesn't worship Helios. They have their own little thing going on, but the kind of the standard folk, Helios is the big one. And all in Hyperborea, no matter where you are in Hyperborea, this is the Thagwa. Someday I will run this campaign for years. Someday I'll pronounce it properly. The frog god there, he is actually the most revered god in all of Hyperborea. So that's everywhere. But generically speaking, for this area, Helios is the big guy.
Yeah, Brickhill is going to go up to Panesta and Panesta, did you want to go see your friend today or wait till the festival starts tomorrow?
Oh, he might be busy tomorrow. We'll go see him now. I'm sure he knows we're here. So.
Yes, I will go with you, but there's somewhere I need to go after that. If and I can meet you back here later after we visit with your friend. Then.
Okay. Yeah, I would want to go talk to the Helios temple after we meet Aramis anyway, so that works. Just take care of yourself.
What business do you have at Helios? She looks surprised.
Oh, well, I talked to them last time just to get information. I was going to ask them about perhaps well, actually, it probably wouldn't be them. It'd probably be the guys at the library. I want to ask them about the black obsidian crystal and the pillars and that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Are you okay? You seem.
Yes, I'm fine. It was just a weary trip across the sea.
That it was. All right, let's go talk to Aramis.
Okay. How about Ravna? What's your plan? And we'll kind of circle around and deal with each scene.
No, I'm gonna go with them.
You're gonna go to Aramis?
I'm gonna go wherever the two of them are going.
Okay. Fair enough.
Like I said, I've never been, Revna's never been here before. So, and already she's been told that don't get caught outside at night. So she doesn't really trust the place. So she's figured, I'm going to hang out with people who kind of know what's going on until she figures out how the place works.
Right. So just because Brighild and Panesta would know this, just as a refresher, the Eventide bell rings at 8 p.m. So it is night, but it's, remember, night is all changes night work because of the way the days work. So after 8 p.m., typically people don't walk in the street. So you do still have time. It'll be dark before then, but you can still relatively safe until the bell rings. Okay, so let's go to Crystal first. So you want to head up to the Temple of Aramis, which we'll say is right here. No, Aramis. Artemis. Aramis does not have a temple
He's got
yet.
his own temple now. No, I think he's really shaky.
Yeah, you guys show up. There's a big temple of Aramis. He's like, yeah. So sorry, Artemis, the Lady Artemis, the hunters. She's up there, right? She's a hunter.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a simple temple. You know, like most of the land of Hyperborea. You know, the people worship whatever gods are convenient at the moment. So in a large-ish city like Xambaala, they're going to find temples of everything. So this is kind of like Temple Row, where you can see like all the other. It's like Helios, Rel's over here, and then like all the other ones are kind of in the little like strip mall. So you see the Artemis Temple.
Okay.
You know, it's not tiny, but it's it's not like in the center of town like the Helios Temple is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's definitely going to approach and find someone. She would actually like to see if she can find someone who seems a little higher up. She has something important she needs to discuss with them.
Sure. Yeah. So when you approach the temple, it is like most buildings here. It's that kind of like sandstone like structure. However, they did their best to make it kind of in the style of Artemis. So you've got like the fluted columns and stuff, but it's not like the white marble or whatever like you might expect from that you're used to. But it's as close as possible. And as you kind of go up the stairs into it, you can see it's kind of an open space, and there's various reliefs, that show the good works of Artemis hunting and those kind of things. And yeah, you see there's priestesses there. They are kind of gathered around, helping people in different prayers, doing prayers themselves. There's a giant kind of statue of Artemis in the center. Yeah. So you can look for a priestess, and if you want, and talk to them, and they'll point you in the right direction.
Yeah, she'll walk up to one and say, "Greetings, sister," and kind of, gesture politely.
Mm-hmm. She looks at you and says, "Greetings, sister. Have you come to show reverence to Our Lady?"
Of course. Also, though, I have a little bit of business here. I need to speak to someone. Someone will, perhaps, like head priestess. I don't know, like how to say it, but she tries to someone higher up, basically. Says,
So
I
she
have
nods.
something of importance, very important. I need to discuss with them.
I see. And this is something you cannot discuss with me.
It is.
I
It
see.
involves an artifact.
Oh, an artifact.
Indeed. One that I do not wish to fall into the wrong hands.
And you wish to tell us where this artifact is?
I acquired this artifact recently.
I see.
It was created by Migo.
Oh, she kind of narrows her eyes. She says, I see.
I'm hoping that if this artifact can be delivered to the right hands, maybe protections can be made for it, or at the very least, it can be kept from getting into the hands of anyone who might use it for evil purposes.
See. And you have this artifact,
I do.
and it's dangerous.
It is.
She kind of looks around. Come with me. She turns and starts walking towards the back.
Then you will follow her.
Okay. Okay, so out at Aramis, that the Caravasian area hotel. I was not pronouncing things properly today. If you remember, I don't think I have a map of that, unfortunately. There is basically a walled-in hotel, if you will. There is a, let's see if I have it still here. No, I released it. Okay, so, well, actually, you can see it. You can see it on this map. Basically, you've got, okay, you've got a main wall on the outside, and then, of course, the hotel itself is a wall around it. And as you approach, just as always, there's kind of like a gate that's closed, but not necessarily locked, with a couple of guards in front. As the three of you approach, they kind of look at you. Because people are walking up and down the street all the time. But if you approach the gate, they will say, "Oh, are you staying here, or looking for a room? Don't know what's available right now. It's been quite busy with the festival coming."
Oh yes, I'm sure. But I'm actually looking. I'm looking to see if Aramis is in. My name is Panesta. He knows me.
Oh, okay, excellent. And he kind of looks at the other two, and you are?
I am also a friend. My name is Brighild.
He nods. He looks at Ravna.
I am Revna, and I am, I guess I would best be referred to as a handmaiden. I attend to Benesta and Brighild.
Yeah, he nods. And then he kind of he turns to the other guard and he says, "I'll be right back." And he kind of walks in, just like last time. He leaves the one guard there with you. Who, if you address him, he'll just make small talk unless you want to ask him something specifically. The other guy goes into the building, and some time passes. A few minutes later, you see Aramis come out with the guard, and he just kind of steps out and then from the building, and he sees you out there. He kind of looks, and he recognizes you for sure. And then he kind of waves his hand, and the guard lets you through. And of course, the first guard just goes back to his post.
All right. Let's go talk to him. I need to tell him what happened and see where we go from here. So I'll go up towards him.
I have confidence it will go well.
Oh yes, and she'll smile at Brighild. I do too.
Okay. Yeah. So normally, like when you've met with him before, he brings you into the building, where all the chairs and tables and stuff are. But as you approach it, you can actually hear it's quite noisy and it's packed. It's more crazy than you've seen it before. So he kind of says, he calls to you. He says, let's talk in the gardens. And he kind of just walks like kind of backwards, and you can see there's like basically a garden behind. I don't have the map to show it to you, but like you imagine the buildings to your left is right, but behind that there's like a garden. And he just turns around and walks back there.
Okay. Yeah, we'll follow him.
Okay. Actually, I think this is where Roger's character jumped over the wall. Actually, a little garden. So yeah,
Zulia.
Yeah, Zulia. Yeah. So there's like it's like there's some palm trees and some sand, and there's some nice benches and stuff, and you can see that it looks like it's probably set up for. They're setting it up, I should say, for like revelry. Like later, there's like a table where you can see they're putting out big jugs of wine and stuff. But when he walks back, the workers kind of look, and then he nods, and they kind of walk away. So they leave you guys in private in the back, and he turns around and he says, it's good to see you again, Panesta and Brighild. And I'm told your name is Revna.
She nods very politely and says, "It is."
Okay, he smiles. And he says, so, Did we do a good business in Crenfac?
Well, the business was good, the trade was good, but unfortunately, the other matter didn't go as well as I'd hoped.
Oh, yes. Yes, I suspected as much, and was a little concerned when the ship arrived. Ooh, maybe a week before you?
Yes, I know that we were not able to recover the children. If there's still a chance, though, we might be able to. But unfortunately, Aramis, we just failed.
I understand. I mean, not everything can be. One must set priorities and do what they need to do in the time. I do not know. I assume that the ship sat here for 4 days before it left. I do not. Unfortunately, we did not see anybody come through the city. They may have taken them directly up the river on a small craft.
Okay.
That would mean they would head out. They're probably not at the Witch's Palace now, but they should be soon. I do not know where it will lead from there.
Do you have any idea of what the witch wants with these Hyperborean children?
He smiles and says, "Well, if rumors serve correctly, she will drink their blood, or possibly bathe in it, or maybe both. But the things people do to look young, right?" He smiles.
I'll smile and say, yes, I know those are the rumors.
Yes,
but
she's up to something.
Okay.
I do not know what. You know, as far as I know, her plan is to be the queen of all Hyperborea, not just the region around the desert.
Oh, she has that level of conquest in mind.
This is what I've heard, yes. I don't know how she could do that without some kind of an army, and I've not heard any rumors of her bringing forth an army, but you never can tell. You know, sorcery and connections to the Underborough, and you know the things that we hear.
I do. I do know the things that we hear, especially in Xambaala. Do you think these children could be being somehow transformed into an army? Hyperboreans are strong and special in a way.
Mm-hmm. He kind of thinks about it and he says, oh, that's an interesting thought. I don't know. Could be some kind of magic to reproduce the Hyperborean race. As we know, it is a dying race, but once ruled all of Hyperborea. They still get the name.
Yes. So the Underborough, you haven't heard of any strange creatures with many legs and wings, have you? And hard carapaces and disintegration pistols.
He kind of just looks at you. That sounds about what you'd hear from the Underborough. I don't know. I don't know anyone who's entered the Underborough and never come back. They say that it is the home of many a foul creature.
Stories from the Underborough. Well,
That you know, as you know, they say that is where the Ashen Worm came from, and where it may someday come from again when it returns.
I have heard tales of the Ashen Worm. Well, Aramis, I have another request, or at least request for information. Our crew, unfortunately, was decimated on Crystal Point.
Oh, yes, on Crystal Point. Interesting. Well, you would be, insofar as my sources have heard, you would be the first boat to ever make it back, so it must be dangerous there.
It is. Let me tell you, all the stories are not exaggerated at all, so there is truth to that information. The rumors are true. The place is deadly, and our crew was lost to some of the denizens of of Crystal Point.
The crabmen.
And so, no, not crabmen. We actually didn't have any bad encounters with crabmen. We had a few problems on Kronfok itself, but that was neither here nor there. I haven't actually seen a crabman yet, but we did see something more disturbing. And so I would like to go back, but we do need a new crew. And I know at the festival it's going to be difficult, but if you know good people, we pay well, and hopefully they won't die this time.
He smiles. Says, you are looking for sailors or mercenaries?
I look at Brighild and say, I think we were looking for a bit of both.
When you
Right,
turn to Brighild, you see that she's staring off into space there. She heard the mention of the ashen worm, knowing that that's what she grew up on, the deity she was taught about and worshipped. But she's staring off, and her hand is just inside her leather jerkin as she's holding on to the necklace in the sun deal that is around her necklace. And she has no idea where it come from. And she looks towards you and she goes, we need men who can fight, men who can defend themselves, men who can defend the ship, men who are not afraid to die.
I look back at Aramis and say, she has the right of it. Anybody we hire will have to be able to take care of themselves.
Preferably those of Viking stock tend to fit the description a little better than most. I could be biased.
He smiles. He says, well, I mean, if Viking men are your favor, I may have something for you. I mean, not as a sailor.
He just smirks and smiles at him.
He says, I can put the word out. I think Viking maybe not... we'll see what they have. Typically, Viking men come in Viking boats and leave in Viking boats. You would be much more likely to get some of the locals here. After an incident that happened a few years back, many of the slaves have been freed, as you may know, and with not much hope for work anywhere but here, have kind of fallen back into the same routine. But they might be worthy fighters.
All right.
And willing to leave especially for good pay. So just to go back to the earlier question, because I had to look at the map till I would know for sure. It would take you, you're 125 miles from Zizorium, which is basically going to take you, I think you can travel about 18 miles a day if you're walking, a little faster on horses. We'll say if you take camels, it'll take you about 5 days to get there. So if they're 4 days ahead of you, they're probably almost there. Just so you get a real idea of how far away they are. That doesn't mean that they're if they're moving at full speed, and not taking their time. It really depends on how they were traveling. But that way you have more accurate numbers. So he thinks he can get you some sailors, and probably a mixed bag of sailors, and certainly some fighting men. That's probably the easiest thing to get.
Okay.
Probably after the festival, as noted. And he says, you said you had some other issues at Krenfak. Are you telling me that you would not be able to bring more trade goods? Because I think I could.
The people who really got into trouble, unfortunately, are deceased now. And the shaman there knows me, and I think we could repair the relationship. If I'm honest, I think I could do that.
Excellent. Well, if that is something you would like to do, I definitely have some more goods that we could bring, especially after the festival. Monies and goods come into the town in bulk, and people who drink often make the best deals.
Yes,
right.
we will do it.
We will.
Excellent. Did you need a place to stay?
No, we have rooms. But thank you again for the offer. One of these days
Excellent.
I'll stay here.
The door's always open.
All right. Well, I appreciate the help, and we can do more business. And I'm sorry that we didn't get that task completed, but sometimes these
Well,
things happen.
as you say, she could be using them for any number of things. Perhaps they're still alive. It may be worth a trip. Again, the festival has begun. If they're arriving now, I doubt anything would happen during the festival.
Well, we might have to take a trip to the Thorium.
I mean, unless she's drinking their blood. And they
Well,
smiles.
I smile back at him and say, "Well, if that's happening, yes, there's not much we can do about that."
Yes, yes. Why is it that everybody becomes a vampire after a while?
Either a vampire or a snake man.
He smiles. Well, they both have fangs, I guess.
Yes, they do.
Well,
But I have a feeling it's something else. I just have this feeling that seems like much too as bathing in blood might not seem mundane, but it still seems a little mundane for all the trouble to kidnap Hyperborean children, as rare as they are. So.
Indeed. So, cutting back to the Temple of Artemis, you can tell. I mean, being a trained ranger, you notice immediately that as you're kind of following this woman back, like a couple more kind of priestesses kind of flank you and kind of follow as well. As you're kind of going back, and she brings you back behind the large statue, and there's a door back there, and she kind of, as she's approaching it, the door actually opens up from the inside, like somebody clearly sees them coming or whatever, and she just walks right through. I'm assuming you're following, Crystal.
Yep.
Okay.
Zinnia will continue to follow.
Okay. You enter back into a room that is a lot more familiar maybe to you. The entire interior of this room, to great effect, has been lined in marble, so it more reflects the temples as you would be used to, especially on Amazonia. And as you come in, the door, somebody was next to the door that opened, they close it behind you. So the two people that were following behind clearly don't come in behind you. Where they went, you don't know, but you're standing there, and an older woman kind of turns. She's watering a plant, an iris, and she turns around and she says, "An artifact."
Indeed, sister. Zinnia will say, and she'll curtsy towards the lady.
She says, "Have a seat," and you see that there's like some beautiful pillows and stuff all spread on the ground, and there's like a large tray with a jug that probably clearly has wine in it or whatever. She kind of motions for you to sit over there, and then she goes over and kind of sits down amongst the pillows. The woman who brought you in just stands by the door.
Yes, Zinnia will have a seat, and she'll go ahead and tell her, I am Zinnia, by the way. I hail from Paradoxon.
Paradoxon.
I was raised in the Moon Arrow Temple there.
Yes. As you probably know, when you stood close to the statue in the center, the icon of Aramis, your soul was tested. It wouldn't let anyone with evil spirit enter the back. Sense something good in you. So if you have such an artifact, I believe you are not here to destroy me with it. I am Allah.
It is good to meet you. And yes, I have no intention of destroying you. And she'll go ahead and reach into her backpack, and she probably has the weapon, the laser pistol wrapped inside of like a small cloth or something, and she'll like pull it out carefully and lay it in front of her so that the woman can see it.
She kind of looks at it. She doesn't reach out to or touch it or anything. She just kind of looks at it. She says, "Oh, I've never seen anything like this before."
Well, let me tell you, it is quite dangerous. This weapon, or weapons like this, killed several companions that I was traveling with. Not just killed them, it completely vaporized them, turned them to nothing but a pile of ash.
She
I
nods.
believe it was created by the Migo, or the very least, Migo held these weapons.
Migo. She knows. I mean, she's not a ranger, obviously.
Hmm.
Oh yes. I've heard of such creatures. Uh, they are of the stars. No.
I believe they come from the Underborough,
Oh.
or at
Ah.
least that's where they live now.
See. And this weapon was used in Xambaala.
It was not. It was used where I was at, uh, out near Crystal Point.
Crystal Point. I'm not
Uh,
familiar.
Small island, quite far away. Several
See.
days' journey.
Okay. Well, it does seem like the type of thing that needs to be destroyed, or at least, at the very least, kept out of the hands of such creatures.
Indeed. I was hoping maybe this could be maybe shipped back to Paradoxon if they could perhaps research it there. I don't know if there would be any way that they could find ways to help protection, but if destroying it is the best bet, then as long as it's kept out of the hands of those who would seek to harm others with it, that's fine by me. I
Yeah. Well,
personally don't want such an evil artifact with me any longer.
she nods. She says, "Well, I have no connection with shipping cruise, so I don't know that I could travel, take it across the world, but certainly our priests could destroy it, I'd imagine."
Very good. I'm going to be here for a few days. Uh, we need to restock and resupply our ship. I was hoping maybe there would be an extra room available that I could stay and worship while we're docked here.
Yeah, she kind of nods. She says, "Yes, you could work in the temple for the week. We could definitely use someone with the skills of a ranger. This festival becomes quite, well, you know."
Yes, I know how these kinds of festivals can go.
Yeah. She says, "Shal can get you robes and show you where you can stay. Thank you."
uh, yes, I thank you as well, sister. And this is not much, but it is a small amount that I have managed to come across in my journey so far. And she's going to put like 5 gold pieces on a table, or,
Mhm. Okay. She says, "Thank you. I will, I'm sure, see you again." And you hear the door open up, and the woman who let you in is standing there. And she kind of, like, you can see that she's looking at you, waiting for you to approach. And she's going to,
and
if you do, she leads you out.
yeah, Zinnia will.
Okay. Yeah, I mean they'll bring you back to where the priestess stay. They're going to take off. Obviously, you need to leave your weapons and armor and stuff. They're going to put you in like a robe, and you can work in the temple. Stay
Yep.
if you'd like.
Fun by Artemis.
Okay, cool. Back at Aramis's place, as you're kind of wrapping up your work, he does say there will be plenty of festivities here. So if you would like to come back, the door is always open, of course. And let us say on the 16th, I will have some stock brought to your boat for trade in Krenvak.
All right. That sounds reasonable.
Okay, I'm assuming.
Brickhill, when they,
Sorry, go ahead, Tony.
I was just gonna say, Brickhill, when they send it to leave, she still has her hand grasped around this thing on her necklace, and she looks towards Aramis and she goes, "Thank you for what you've done to help me and Panesta and our friends, but I'm afraid the Ashen Worm will never return."
Nods. So I was gonna say, I'm assuming you brought him the money that you owe.
Oh yes, yeah. No, I don't want to owe him anything. So yeah.
Yeah. Because I know that you said that. I mean, he doesn't like ask for it, but I'm just assuming that you gave it to him in a very subtle way.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That's so we know that you don't owe him anything right now. Currently, no money owed. Yeah, because you have that cash that you made from that. I can't remember how much I said it was. Like, we'll say 1,000 gold pieces or something.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah. So you pay him his share of it, and which is about that much, and then you have that much yourself. And anything that Ravna would like to do, or Panesta, as you're leaving. I'm assuming you're leaving.
No.
Unless Ravna wants to stay.
Stay and get a Viking.
I mean, it's equal opportunity. We got there's both ladies and men who work into this place. All right, so
Viking barmaid.
Yep. You see, your old character wasn't a Viking, right, Crystal?
No.
All right.
I don't remember what she was, to be honest.
Yeah. I think
she's the queen of she's the witch queen of Hyperborea now.
Right.
Yeah.
Bathing in the blood of Hyperboreans.
Yeah, that sounds like Valkyria.
Yeah,
Valkyria Bathory.
Exactly. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so you're able to leave unless anyone else wants to do anything with Aramis. Again, you can always go back there. He, as he noted, there's going to be partying and stuff throughout the week. But I think you wanted to go to the Temple of Helios and the library.
Yeah, I mean, how much time is before like darkfall? I mean, we would have time.
Yeah, I mean, it's already getting like technically dark, but you have at least 4 hours before you got to be back inside. Yeah.
Yeah, Brickhill would tell Panesta and Revna, "When there's somewhere I must go, I will meet you two back at the place we're staying, but make sure you get there before the bell rings."
We will. And take care of yourself, please. She'll
So
smile at you.
I am doing well. I feel alive again right now for some reason, but yes, I will be fine. You two take care of yourselves too.
Okay.
Okay. Reverend, do you want to go? You're going to go with Panesta, or is there anything else you want to do separately? Reverend, a big rush.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said I heard, did you want to go with Revna? I would actually look over to Panesta and I would just say, do you think she's okay off by herself?
I think she wants to be by herself. And I think she'll be okay. I know.
Not the question I asked.
But I think in this moment we should give her space. And I'm remembering the pendant, that she had that's shaped like the sun that she came back with after she died. And I said, I think we should give her space. She'll be okay as long as she's back by the eventide bell. Brickhild's pretty tough.
She is an imposing lass, that is for sure.
Imposing and wise.
Okay. Then I will. Where are we going?
I would like to go to the scholars.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that first. So you go to the library, which is, I believe, I don't have the map in front of me, but if I'm not mistaken, if Daniel's memory is good from our very first part of the campaign, I believe the library is here.
Yeah, it's not too far from the.
It's either that or it's this. But I'm pretty sure it's this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those two buildings. So yes, the library is one of the larger buildings in the place, though not as big as Temple of Helios. So as you guys cross through the marketplace, maybe you guys actually don't have to cross through because you go in the other direction. You'll actually probably Brigil leaves you two there. Basically, it would make the most sense. And yeah, I mean, if you remember, you come in and there's basically a large desk in front of you, and there's a couple of guys that work there, the librarians, and they look up, of course, as you enter. And they say, welcome.
Hello. Good day and happy Saturnalia.
Yeah. He smiles. He says, well, indeed. I've got my toga ready at home. Only a few more hours of work left tonight.
Well, I'm sure you'll look quite dashing in your toga. But until then, do you have any books on strange creatures from Saturn? Or, no, I'm sorry, from different planets?
From Yargoth. And it looks at you. He says, oh, well, there's only one kind of creature from Yargoth.
Well, you know, I'm a bard, and I just was going to write a story featuring these creatures for the festival, or just for fun.
Sure. Of course. Many a black book has been written about the hideous creatures that dwell in the darkest of the planets where it's cold and airless.
See, doesn't that sound like a good song or a story? Good recitation?
I mean, I prefer happier stories about, young men and women gallivanting under the stormy skies.
I can write those too.
Ah, excellent.
You've never sat around a campfire and told stories, scary stories, to entice a woman into your arms or a man into your arms for safety? Come now.
Are you offering? Says the old librarian guy.
No, I'm just, I'm just saying that there is a good reason for telling stories that scare. It can be quite fun.
You were saying to scare me out of my toga.
One problem at a time.
All right, he smiles, and he looks over at the other guy who hasn't been saying much. He's been reading his book, and he looks up. He looks around like he just noticed you're all there. And the first guy says, I'll be right back. And he goes up the stairs to where they get the books. And the other guy just kind of, he looks up from his book, and he kind of looks at both of you. He sees him walk away, and he looks back down and starts reading again.
I won't be the annoying person who asks, what are you reading, when someone's trying to read.
Oh, please do it.
No, I'm not going to do it. We'd never do that.
So, so you're waiting for him to come back with the book on the dark planet, Yagath, and the creatures that dwell within. Brigil, so you're heading over to the Temple of Helios, which is huge. It's one of the largest, building besides the Colosseum, of course, in the city, I guess, of Xambaala. Huge statue of Helios rises from the building, and I'm looking because there's actually a picture. on the picture, always. You know, huge statue of Helios holding up his torch. Yeah, here he's kind of going like this. That's the bell, of course, below that rings at eventide, and of course the sun medallion similar to the one that you have. And you see, of course, the columns going up to the doors, which are currently open as you kind of approach the temple.
Rickhild walks up
Okay.
to the temple there. She sees and takes all this in, and she's just standing still as maybe others are walking by her on the street. And she begins to take a step, and as she does, she sees herself in darkness. She sees herself 8, 9 years old, lying in a bed in a dark room. And she opens her mouth, and out of her mouth comes this beautiful voice that starts singing this hymn as it comes out. And then she opens her eyes and she sees the dreams of having the vibrations coming from the black gulf that is imbuing into her voice itself and bringing forth this beautiful song. Then she sees this statue in the Temple of Helios again, and she goes, "Who am I? Where am I?" She stands up and walks and continues into the temple and walks up to the first priest that she sees. And she walks up to him and she pulls out the pendant on the necklace where he sees the medallion, the sun medallion, and she goes, "Why?" And she holds back tears. "Why does Helios choose to save some of us and not all of us?"
Looks at you and he says, well, my child, that all things must come to pass. And those that Helios finds in his favor are meant for greater than those who he does not. That does not mean that we are all not worthwhile, just that we all have different jobs to do, different stories to tell. What troubles you?
I've seen many things in my young life, and I thought I was following the right one, but I did not think I am until now, until this medallion has showed me other things. There's some things I do not remember, and things that I remember that I have no recollection of from the past when I was young. But I will continue on the path that I am now and look for the sun, look for the light, look for the warmth that I find. And she falls down at his knees and bursts out into just complete tears for about a minute because he probably doesn't know what to say or how to react. And she gets up and stands up and she says, "Give this to your donations. This I do not need anymore." And she reaches in and grabs a handful of coins and puts into the donation plate and goes, "Thank you." And she turns around and walks out the door.
Yep. You see, as she's walking out, the priest seems a little bit confused and maybe like stunned at the emotional outburst and the donation, of course. But he scoops it up and you see him turn towards the large statue of Helios that's inside, and you see him mumble a prayer, and then he goes off to one of the side areas where they actually, if you remember the last time, there's like a big bowl where they put the donations, so he puts it in there. Okay, so back at the library, you guys are waiting for a little bit. The guy's reading his book. Every once in a while, he's like, and then he kind of like looks up as just you hear footsteps coming down, and the first librarian's carrying this book. It's really thick, like really thick, like this, kind of a square book, and he's carrying it real close to him, like it's heavy. And he kind of brings it down, and he puts it onto and it's just jet black. And he puts it down onto the desk, and then he kind of turns it, and he says, This is the said to be the truest of knowledge of Yuggoth.
Thank you. May I spend some time reading it?
Of course.
Of course, for donation, of course.
Oh yeah, oh of course. I wasn't going to ask, but of course, libraries. We work on donations, of course, here. So if you have something to spare, of course, and he kind of motions. You can see over to the side. There's there's like an area with this table, so you can sit down. Okay. And he says, "Here, take this," and he pulls out basically what's a big fat magnifying glass, and he says, you must shine the light onto the pages, or you will not be able to see." And you can see there's like a lantern hanging on each of the tables.
Thank you. And I look at Revna and I say, I'm going to be doing some reading for a little bit. I don't know if you would like to, what you want to do.
She holds up a finger and she looks back at the librarian and she says, "Do you have any books on, right off the top of your head, on like a treatise perhaps on illusion, illusionary magic, anything like that?"
Oh, like a magic book? You mean about the concept of magic?
About theory.
And he kind of nods. He says, yes. And he turns. You can see he's still like kind of nodding his head and going like this as he kind of walks up the stairs.
She looks at Pinesta and she says, "I'm going to get a book of my own and then I'll join you at the table." I don't know if you have been able to figure it out or whatever, but I do know some of the arcane. I am trained somewhat in arcane arts, and I can tell you I'm a little bit less eccentric than that godforsaken Eka. So I'll join you at the table, and if you have any questions, then I may be able to help.
Sounds like a deal.
Okay.
I'll go sit and I'll read whatever I can.
Yeah, so when you carry the book, it's quite heavy. Like you would gather this book weighs like maybe 35, 40 pounds. And when you sit down at the table, you see it only has 4 pages. Each page is just, that's thick. Like, it feels almost like stone. Okay. And as you open the book and you brush your hand across it, you can feel there's like very, very fine engraving in it, but you can't see any words or anything on it. Like it just looks black. Absolutely matte black.
Okay. If I shine the light kind of through the glass.
Exactly, yeah. So you can take the lanterns like bullseye lanterns, so you kind of turn it, so it's pointing at the book, and even then you can just barely pick up little bits. But when you use the magnified light from the glass, you actually see the words light up across the page. You got to kind of move it around to see it, but you can see it's written pretty small print. So considering there's only a handful of pages, you think it's probably the equivalent of like maybe 50 pages of it in like a regular book.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's not a lot. I mean, it's a 50-page book. It's not a big book, but it's yeah.
Yes, very condensed.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, there's not a whole lot of information, right? Yeah, you'll find it's a small planet, not a lot of information. Okay. They do, in fact, have books about illusionary, like the kind of theory and stuff. They don't have spell books per se, but you certainly can find something that interests you. And something that you could use in research if you were researching a spell, but nothing that's like an actual spell book.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. Yeah. I didn't figure. I was just literally looking for magic theory, just something to read while I'm until when and if Pinesta needs help with something she may find in her book. That way, I'm just not sitting there.
Okay, fair enough. All right. What are you looking for in the book there? Anything particular that's Pinesta's looking for, or just increased knowledge?
Increased knowledge, but also, if there's anything about the Migo and their buildings, like because I'm interested in that black crystal, because now we've seen several things made out of that that don't seem related, but if there's anything at all about that black crystal substance, I really be interested in that.
Okay.
In addition to any other weaknesses, but I mean besides disintegration rays, of course, but everybody's weak to those. But
Yes,
anything else about the Migo? Yep.
All right. I mean, just as a general thing, we'll say once you've read through this book, you can have we'll give it, just remind me when you're asking future questions about Miko stuff, that we'll give a better chance because you've read this book.
Okay.
But I don't want to give you bad information. The crystal is something that they grow. Yeah.
Okay. They grow it, so they would have to have grown it for a very long time for those 25-foot pillars. Right.
Yeah, I mean, they don't know how long it takes for them to grow it, but yeah, they apparently, where the Miko have been known to be, what you find is reference to the strange crystals growing. But they definitely use that word, growing, as opposed to
as opposed to mining it out of the ground or anything like that.
Right. Well, that is what the book says. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what the book says. That's what this book says. Whether or not that's true, that's a whole other thing. Well, yeah.
Right.
Book says, yeah.
Well. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably bounce that off of once you have certain information. You could bounce it off of the ranger as well, because she would also have information. But
right.
But yeah, what you mostly hear is that they grow it.
Does it say anything about them working with that stone, like building with it or sculpting?
Yeah. Right. Well, that's essentially what it says. So essentially, what it says is that due to the kind of organic nature of the look of the things that are produced with it, they feel like the Migos grow these things. In other words, they're not like, like when you cut marble perfectly square. All of this stuff is like very jagged and sticking out. It looks very kind of.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
All right.
Anti-Euclidean? Anti-Euclidean. It's all very anti-Euclidean, yeah. So, yeah. So, as best as they can tell, it seems like it's some kind of organic process. But, again, that's one book. You don't know that whether. I don't want to make it seem like, because it's the DM telling you, I'm not telling you. That's what the book says.
I get it. Nope.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I wanted was what the book said. Yeah, and I can ask Xenia. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else from Brickhild, or?
She's just going to wander around the market since she's close to the market too. So she's just going to wander around the market, take a look at it, and then she'll go back to the place they're staying at and wait for Revna and Vanessa.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, is there anything else you guys want to do in Xambaala? Because we can, you guys don't have to hang out during the. I mean, you're going to be there, but.
Yeah, I would like to look for some silver-tipped arrows while I'm here. 2, if I can get them.
You want to buy silver-tipped arrows? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. We'll give it a 1 in 12 chance. You can find 2. A 2 in 12 chance. If you roll a d12, if you get a 1, you get 2 of them. If you get a 2, you get 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. This is. I mean, just because it's crazy and there's a lot of stuff going on, so they're not going to be super common.
Yeah.
They're not common anyways, but.
I rolled a 7, so I don't.
Yeah. So unfortunately, everybody that you go to that might, possibly be having silver-tipped arrows have been making like silver, ornaments that they're selling to people that are reveling during the festivities. They've been building up to this for a few weeks, so they haven't been producing any arrowheads. You would have to wait probably a couple, maybe 4 days after the celebration before they'd be able to make anything for you. And then they could make it pretty easily.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the only other thing she would do while she's here is just buy, she'd like to go ahead and buy those robes that the temple gave her, so she can have some religious clothing with her. and then just buy some basic stuff like some prayer beads and some incense and things like that because I'm out of incense.
Sure. Yeah, all that stuff can easily be purchased while you're here this week. Especially since you have the connection through the temple. You're not buying it, but you're basically you donate money to the temple and you can have the stuff, which is essentially the same.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
Price. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's not like you have to go to the shop if you just ask them for instance to have it, but then you want to donate whatever the equivalent monies is. Okay. But yeah, if nobody has anything else they want to do in Xambaala during the festivals, we can just skip forward. I don't think anybody cares about that, unless you want to pursue something else. If you just want to wait here until you have a crew and then leave, then you do that. You could also explore the outside area of Xambaala. You could partake in the festivals. You could fight in the arena. You can go seek the snake men.
Brickhill does have one thing that she wants to do during the week or
Okay.
the time that we're there is, which I'm sure we'd have the money. She wants to buy some like picks and shovels and things like that. Because in her mind, she's going to talk to him later about she thinks with this new crew that we try to dig up one of those black obelisk and topple it on the ground on the island. She thinks that those obelisks still hold something that can help them if they try to destroy them.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. You can definitely pick that kind of stuff up. Work tools and stuff. I mean, especially, if you don't get it today, you can get it right before you leave, but you can definitely get stuff like that.
But yeah, that's the only thing she would want to do the next few days as far as nothing else special.
Okay. Why don't we, let's take a 10-minute break, just in case anybody thinks of something they want to do on Xambaala. Otherwise, I'll just jump forward in time because there's no sense in hanging out for the festival if you're not really partaking. So let's take a quick 10 minutes and then we'll see what else we want to do here.
Okay.
Sounds good.
That sounds like a fine plan.
Yeah, exactly right. So yeah, you so the festival of Saturnalia begins. You've put in place some plans to get both trade goods and sailors, which you'll definitely need, and some mercenaries to help to fight any creatures that you may encounter upon the Crystal Point as you sail back. We'll deal with all that. We'll do some rolling and stuff to see what's available. But before that, Xenia wanted to see if what was going on at the Colosseum, which had burned down 4 years ago, but has since been rebuilt. So they are having. Let's see. I'll tell you what's fighting at the Colosseum. Oh wow, okay. Oh, don't look at the wrong one. I was like, wow, that would be dangerous. I'm looking at the wrong one. Let's see. Xambaala. Right. What is fighting at the arena? All right, go ahead, Kirstel, and roll me a d12.
Okay.
There'll be 4 options here.
1.
1. Okay. Oh, interesting. They have actually captured in the desert 5 living dead, devourers of men, and they're looking for a warrior willing to go into the arena and kill these things for money.
Yes, of course, yeah. Such an abomination she'll gladly take care of.
Okay, so you want to fight in the arena. So you see the arena boss. You accept the call. You see some other warriors show up as well. He's kind of a heavy set guy with long mustaches that drop down like this really far. He's kind of like sweaty, even though it's only 35 degrees out. And he says he's got like you and a few other warriors gathered around. And he tells you this. He says, "We have these abominations, which we have found in the desert. They were devouring our slave workers, and they must pay. And of course, the crowd will pay. Who here can fight 5 of these beasts?" And then, one guy steps up. He's got his big plate armor and a mace. And he's like, I can destroy them. And, another guy's got like 2 swords. I can do it.
Xenia will step up and say, yes, I can take these on.
Oh. Kind of looks at you. You're just wearing the robes from the first thing at this point?
I didn't say I changed. I was thinking I was wearing my armor, but I didn't say I changed.
Well, I mean, you can be. It's up to you.
I mean, I only have my leather armor and my short sword on the shore, so I'll say that I went with that.
All right. He looks at you. He says, well, we want to put on a good fight here. Would you be willing to do it barehanded? And the guy in the big armor is like, actually, I have another job. He kind of turns around and walks away. The guy with the 2 swords is like, I'll do it in just a loincloth, but I want my weapons.
I'll do it with my fist while wearing the robes of Artemis.
Ooh. Very nice, very nice. You will get 30% of the take. And we will fill the arena.
That sounds fair.
Yeah. Sign here. We're not responsible for any diseases or death, and your family can't sue us and that kind of stuff.
Of course.
Okay, yeah, he signs you on. Do you tell everybody else you're going to do this, or are they going to miss your fight?
I mean, she was kind of just going down there. I mean, when is it? Like, does she have time to tell people?
Oh yeah, no, he's gonna hype it up. Yeah, it won't be for a couple of days. We'll say this
Okay.
is the like we'll say this is the first day of the festival. He wants to do it on the day 4, which is the crazy day where everybody's running around naked and under the full moon and drinking.
Okay, yeah. She'll go to Pinesta and crew if I mean she knows where they're staying at, and she'll let them know that she's agreed to do this crazy thing.
Brighild looks at you and she goes, I will be celebrating the light and the warmth and things of that such. I'm afraid that would bring nothing but death. I hope it is not yours. If you do make it through it, we will see you on the ship when we leave.
I understand.
Vanessa says, I'll come watch. I had fond memories of that arena.
Indeed.
Revna would look over at Brig and say, "Tell me, do you wish to drink alone or do you wish to drink with company?"
Oh, the more the merrier. We were about celebration. Bring and we would drink and find other pretty boys to drink with, I hope.
Oh. Okay. So she would look over at Panessa and say, I'm gonna stick with Leggy over here.
Well, of course. I mean, we can drink. It's not for a couple of days, right? The fight. We can certainly all drink together and find pretty boys
That's true. Or pretty girls.
or pretty girls.
I'll drink with friends.
Oh, okay. But you were helping out at for somebody who was helping out at the temple for free room and board. You're doing an awful lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
other stuff.
No, that's true. No, yeah, no, I'll skip on the drinking this time.
All right. Well, we'll jump forward if you want to fight this thing. All right, you're gonna have to use the. I can never find the pummeling thing. I know it's right at the very beginning of combat, but I can never find it.
It's on page 248.
48. Okay.
I'm gonna stick with Brighild, and if we do find pretty boys to drink with, I'm gonna try and pick a pocket or two. Because why the hell not?
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Well, now we're getting deep into this. Are you gonna like bring them to the tournament to do it, or are you gonna just like do it at the bar?
No, I'm just gonna hang out at the bar.
Mhm.
I just want
Bricky's not going to the tournament. She's just all she can
Okay.
think about with that would be death.
just want to try one time.
That's good. Yeah, we'll deal with that in a second.
Quick question,
Yep.
Daniel. If I were to bring Castus to the fight, would that still be considered barehanded?
Sure.
I mean, they only grant like a +1 damage.
Right, which basically means you do 1d2 because it's 1d2 -1 for a pummel. This is going to take forever.
Yeah.
I think they're going to give. I think you better use a weapon. Although the
Well, I hope maybe they'll throw some out in the arena or something I can use.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll find out in a second, right? Any hit the. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. No, there's other stuff going on here. Yeah, you might be all right. I mean, you volunteered. You can always run, I suppose, if you start dying.
Yeah.
All right. So, the festival explodes on the 8th day of the 4th month of the 11th year. People are reveling in the street, getting more and more insane and crazy as both moons start to become fuller and fuller. So, even at night, though the sun drops early, until 8 o'clock and the bell rings, people are out and you can see the light in the sky is so bright. But on the middle of the day, the 4th day of the festival, which is the 11th day of the 11th year of the 4th month, the arena is packed as these vicious undead creatures are, kind of held they've got them actually like speared, like spears point stuck through their chest, holding them to these like posts that are in the center, so they can't quite get off. They're like reaching like this with their hands, and there's like they bring you down into the arena, dressed. The temple does not approve you wearing temple clothes, so but you can be dressed in just regular clothes. And they bring you down into the arena. Tell us what the deal is with Xenia. You come into this thing. There's basically 5 of these, large pillars in the ground. Each one has a vicious undead creature speared through the center of it. As you kind of are led into the center.
Before going out, she says a quick prayer to Artemis to make her swift and strong and agile and such. And as she looks around the arena, she will like strike a pose of Artemis or something to let everyone know, she's fighting on behalf of Artemis.
Okay.
Not necessarily the temple, though.
Yeah, they just don't want you to wear the clothes because they're worship clothes. I mean, you can wear something that has an
Yeah.
Artemis holy symbol or something, but just not the stuff that you're wearing at the temple.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
And you can wear the cestus on your fist. That's fine. That's still bare-fisted, I guess, or it's unweaponed or no weapon, I suppose. All right, yeah. So they bring you out into the center. The crowd's cheering. Podesta's there, singing a song, or whatever. I don't know. Brighild and Ravna back drinking, picking somebody's pocket, the 5 of the kind of the men that work in the arena come out and they grab the ends of the spears and they kind of nod at you, and then all at once they pull the spears out and they run off to the side. So these creatures are like, ugh, and they're kind of all around you. But zombies always go last, so you get the first move. There are 5 of these things. Just for mechanically, they're all exactly the same. So you don't see one that's weaker or stronger or whatever, but they're definitely closing in on you. So there's no initiative. You can just do what you gotta do.
Okay. So she'll just head to the closest one and hit it with her fist, or attempt to. Armor class -6 for 4 damage.
What's your strength?
17.
Oh wow. Yeah, you're gonna have no time with this. Okay. Hold on. -6. Okay. Nice.
Yeah. I rolled an 18.
That's cool. All right. So if you beat their armor class by 7, or, which isn't that hard, basically anything better than armor class 1, or natural 20, they are stunned for, I think it's at a D4. I mean, they get a saving throw, transformation saving throw, but if they fail, they're stunned. So since they actually can't be knocked out because they're zombies, I'm just going to say that they'll just be stunned effectively for a D4 rounds. So this guy, 4 rounds. Okay, that's a good hit. All right, so that guy's basically out of commission for 4 rounds. Cool. And when we determined, right, that as in unarmed combat, you can actually attack twice. The second attack is going to be at a penalty as based on a weapon class 0. So I think it makes it depends on your dexterity.
And I have a dexterity of 13. Man, I'd have to look that up real quick, what that is.
If you don't mind looking that up, because I have my page on the.
Yeah, I'm looking for it now. 13 is a -2.
Okay, so -2 because there's no weapon class, so you can make a second attack at -2.
Okay.
I'm going to say though, because it's with your fist, it's going to have to be on the same creature. So it is stunned anyways, but you can do more damage.
That's fine. Let's see.
Oh, it actually misses.
Yeah.
Okay. It was stunned, but you missed. Actually, though, technically, because it's stunned, you get a +4 on the attack, I think, right? So I think that might actually hit it. His arm class is only 8. Yeah. Let me just check. I think you get +4 because it's stunned. Stunned. Yep. Well, their armor class is 4 worse, which means that you get +4 effectively. So that hits armor class 6. So that actually does hit for another 4 points of damage. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, you smash this thing, whack, whack, and it staggers back, and it seems to be a little confused. There are 4 of them, though, and they are now going to attack you.
Okay.
Let's see what happens here. So, let me put this over here. Let me just move around my pages here so I don't have to keep going back and forth. All right. Zombie. All right, let's see. Three to 6 chance per round of a bite attempt. Okay, so I'm just gonna, I only have 3d6, so I'm just gonna roll for 3 of them first to see if there's a 1 through 3 they're gonna try to bite. Okay, so 2 of them are biting, 1 is pummeling. It's just a straight d20 roll, it looks like. So, first one for the bite. Misses terribly with a 3. Second one with the bite. That's going to hit armor class 8.
That'll hit me.
Okay, so 1 bite hits you. And the one with the pummel. That's going to hit as well because it was 18. So let's see, the pummel does 28. Ooh, 5 points on the pummel.
Okay.
And the bite only does a d3, which is 2 points. But because you got bit, your strength is going to be drained by a d4.
Ow.
Yeah. Oh, God, 4 points. Ouch.
Okay.
That changes a lot. All right, and then the last one, pummels. With the 19, he hits. Uh-oh. For 8 points of damage. Ouch. So, yeah. Currently, your strength has been reduced. There's still 5 of them standing, but 1 is stunned. The one you hit the first round. It's almost dead, but it's definitely stunned.
Okay.
You can tell that for sure. And it's your turn again.
All right. So I'm down to 13 strength. I don't have any more attack mod, and I have 1 damage mod. Okay.
Nice. Still good.
I mean, it's better than nothing.
Exactly.
Okay, and okay, she'll go for the one of the ones that pummeled her.
Okay.
Since those are kind of a bigger threat, I guess. Actually, probably the biter is, but oh well.
Oh, nice. Okay. Okay, but the second attack actually is armor class 6, right? Because it's a... Well, again, you can only really attack 1, so you're good. Because the first one's gonna stun him, which means the second one's gonna hit as well. So, well, he's also stunned for 4 turns. Well, you get 2, 3, 4. You did a total of 6 points of damage. So this one is also stunned, which is good for you, because that means it can't attack you this round. And it's not dead though. But you just took 1 more out of commission. So there's only 3 of them that can attack you this round. And I'm going to roll again. The crowd's going wild. Whoa! What's Vanessa doing up there in the crowd? Is she nervous yet?
Yeah, she's a little nervous.
Oh, God, okay.
She's
2
seen
bites.
these kind of fights before.
Yeah. This is not good. 2 bites. First bite, rolls a 4 and misses. Second bite, rolls a 16 and hits. Ooh. Bite does 1 point of damage. Unfortunately, though, that's not the worst part of the bite. Drains 3 strength. And then the last guy, which is a pummel, misses with an 8 on the die. 8 doesn't hit nothing. You have an armor class mod, or no? Is your armor class 9?
My armor class is 9.
Okay, so that is actually what he needs to hit you as a 9. You rolled an 8, so it misses. Okay, so that was bad because you lost 3 points of strength and a hit point, but only 1 of them hit you. There's currently still 3 that are active, and the first one that you hit is almost down, but again, he's still stunned for a little bit longer. I mean, you don't really know how long, obviously, but you can see he's still stunned as we come into the next round. So there's 3 active, 2 stunned.
Okay. What I'd like to do is grab one of the ones that are stunned and like slam him into one of the ones that are not stunned. Just trying to like get them off of me, basically.
Okay. So you're gonna try to slam a stunned one into a non-stunned one?
Yes.
Okay. Just make it overbearing attack, we'll say, and I'll count it as 2 people overbearing because the
Okay.
extra person you're throwing into him. Because I mean, you can obviously hit the first guy, no problem. So just make an attack, basically.
Okay. I'll just use the
Oh.
case this attack.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that hits. So
That was a
successful
nat
attack
20.
roll. Nice. Okay. So that means that guy's automatically stunned, but you were grabbing a stunned guy. Oh, actually no. Okay, that's fine. He's stunned. He won't get a saving throw. 2 points of damage, and he's stunned. Oh, I have to roll for how long? Let's see. Okay. And did you throw a stunned guy? Which is, I'm going to say the damage happened to the stunned guy. Did you do it to the first guy or the second guy?
First guy, let's say.
Okay, that actually kills him. Well, kills him. Yeah, you slam this guy into the other guy. He breaks in half and falls to the ground. But the second guy is stunned. Okay, so now currently there's 2 remaining that are not stunned, and they're going to come at you.
Okay.
The crowd's going wild. These things are vicious. One pummel, 1 bite. So we'll do the bite first. 10, which hits you because I need a 9 to hit you. That's going to do 3 points off your strength. Only 1 hit point of damage, though. And the pummel is going to hit you. Oh, this is not good. You must not have wanted to play this ranger anymore. Oh my god. 7 points of damage.
Okay. Yeah. I'm
Alright,
probably
yeah.
going to be bringing in a new character.
Yeah, you're stumbling. You can see that she's stumbling back. The crowd's screaming.
If it weren't for the bite thing of like draining my damage, it wouldn't be so bad.
Oh no, you would have been kicking ass. All right, so there's 2 that are active currently, both of which just hit you pretty hard. So
Okay. Let me look up my attributes real quick. I lost 3 strength on that last one, so I'm down to 7. So now I'm at a negative on my damage mod.
yeah, luckily you're
So, is it
high level.
possible to take a loss just by running away?
You ask from the tavern.
That was more of an out of character thing, but yeah.
I mean, it's a role playing game. She can do anything she wants.
Yeah. No, I gotta. Even if she's gonna die, she's gonna try and take these things down. They're like abominations. She's not gonna run away from them. So, I mean, it's my character's choice, unfortunately. All right. All right.
2
She'll just
Yep, 2
try and
active
hit.
zombies. Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
Try and hit another one.
The standing one that's active.
Yeah, a standing active one.
Okay.
All right. Hit number 1. Oh no.
You did 0 damage.
Yeah. 0 damage.
Well, you can't do 0 damage. But that's armor class 1, which means there's a chance it's stunned.
Okay.
I mean, it's definitely stunned. It's going to be stunned for a d4 rounds, even though it only takes 1. I mean, it has to take 1 point of damage minimum. It's stunned. All right, so you stunned that one. Yeah, your level is the thing that's going to save you here, because you got a pretty good hit. I mean, you got to hit the same one twice, because that's how we determined. If you want to hit again, go for it.
Okay. And that one also does 1 point of damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, it's not that hurt, but it's stunned, leaving only 1 active zombie. All right. Let's see. It is pummeling, which I think is maybe better for you because your strength's so low. 3 points of damage. Oh, hold on. I have to roll it to hit. No, don't take that damage yet. I didn't roll it to hit.
Okay.
Oh, it rolled a 1. Natural 1.
Oh.
Roll me a d12. Yeah, roll me a d12 to see what happens.
Okay. 9.
9. It is a monster. Trip fall. Okay, so it trips falls for remainder of round. Okay, so you're going to actually get to... It's on the ground, so you actually get a bonus to hit it if you want to attack that same one. Currently, it's the only one that's active, but it's on the ground, which means you're going to get a +4 to hit. Essentially, I mean.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll attack that one then. It's my turn.
Yep, it's your turn.
Okay, so I'll just add 4 to my attack this time.
Yeah, it's the easiest way to do it.
All right. Attack number 1, AC 4 for 1 damage.
Okay, that's not enough to stun it, but
And then the second attack, AC 3 for 1 damage.
all right, also not enough to stun it, but it's hurt, which means it's going to be able to stand up and attack you, or try to bite your leg, anyways. It's going to come at you. Let's see what it tries to do. Going to try to pummel. Misses with the 6 on the die. All right, so hold on. I got to keep track of these guys. They're stuns to see when they come back in action, because I mean they're not dead. They're stunned. Okay, currently everything that was stunned is still stunned.
Okay.
Yep,
She'll
turn.
attack the one that's not stunned then.
Okay.
All right. Attack number 1. Ooh, AC -6 this time.
Wow. Okay, so he's stunned.
And then the second hit is a nat 20.
Oh man. Okay. Oh, actually, remember you did a nat 20 before. I didn't actually roll it as a crit, so we'll go back to that in a second. I just remembered that. I was just counting the other thing. So this is a crit. Go ahead and roll a d6.
Okay. 5.
Okay. 5 is the one thing that's covered on my screen. As a fighter type, is double damage, so 2 points damage. Hey, still 2 points damage better than none.
She hit it straight in the mouth.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a d6 for the other one too. We'll see what got extra damage.
Okay. 4.
4, which is double damage. Okay, so that one also takes 1 more point of damage. Okay, this one is going to go. It's going to try to bite you, or attack you rather, or pummel again. It rolls a 3, so it doesn't do anything. But misses. Your turn. You're fighting the one. Again, the other ones are still stunned, but I mean, you don't know how much longer.
Yeah. Okay. She's just gonna keep on this one. I mean, she doesn't know how long they'll be stunned or anything, so I think it would be meta to attack one like that she hit first.
Yep.
So, all right, this one, AC 4 for 1 damage.
Okay.
And AC -2 for 1 damage.
Okay. Yeah, it's still up. But the -2 actually stuns it for... Okay. Okay, unfortunately, this one's stunned now, but one of the first ones that you stunned comes out of it.
Okay.
And he's going to try to pummel you with an 18 on the die. That's going to hit.
Okay.
For 1 point of damage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's barely anything. And that's the end of that round. Okay. Okay, it is now your turn again. There is one that just attacked you. That's all that's moving currently.
That's the one she's going to try and hit. So AC 1 for 1 point.
Okay.
And AC 4 for 1 point.
Okay. It's still up, but that first attack will stun it. Wow, that stunning is what's saving you right now. Unfortunately, 2 of them come back out of stun.
Oh.
All right, there we go. 1 bite, 1 pummel. So the bite first misses with the 4 on the die. The pummel, ooh, 18. That's going to hit you. Ooh, these pummels are can be pretty serious too. Oh, 1 point of damage over. I say that. It can be serious, but it wasn't that time. Okay, so at this exact moment, you've got 2 that seem to be stunned, 2 that are not.
Okay, I will attack one of them. Oh.
Yeah, all of them are hurt. So, I mean, you could stay on the same one you're on, but do you want to attack one that's probably not stunned, I'm guessing?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So one of the ones that's not stunned.
Yeah.
So hit number 1. Oh, that actually doesn't hit him.
That misses, yeah. First time you've missed.
And,
that also misses.
both of them miss. I'm getting tired now.
Oh, boy. Yes, you are. And actually, at this round, that's the last stun for this guy. So there's actually now 3 of them that are active.
All right, well.
This could be bad for Xenia. The crowd is cheering for the zombies, which is weird. Wow, all of them are going to pummel. That is both good and bad for you. All right, so first attack, 7 misses. Second attack, 6 misses. Wow. Third attack, 9, which is what I said it needed, right?
Yes.
Oh, man, okay. One hits you. 6 points of damage.
Oh, I'm still up.
Okay. It is your turn. Currently, there are 3 of the 4 zombies that are active.
All right, I'm just gonna try and hit one of them. I don't think there's much else I can do.
Okay.
So she reaches back, -6 to hit for 1 point,
Okay.
and then she comes up and uppercuts it for another 1 point.
Okay. So again, it's going to be stunned. Wow, it wasn't really stunning. -6 and then 6. That's actually funny.
Yeah.
So 2. Okay, that guy's stunned. Leaving, of course, now this one other guy that was stunned before is not stunned. So there's still 3 of them coming at you. Wow, all of them try to pummel again. Which again is both good and bad. You really don't lose any more strength. 4 misses. 10 hits. Natural 20.
Ah.
Okay,
Yep,
this could be
is
bad.
the end right here.
All right, so D8, 4 points of damage for the first one. Rolling a D6 for the crit, which is a 5. 5 for a monster is double damage. Ooh. 14 points of damage.
All right. This thing grabs her as she's winded, pulls her neck back, and just bites straight down into her neck. And
It wasn't a bite, it was a
that's the
pummel.
end of the ranger. Oh, whatever.
Well, it matters
I'm
because
dead.
if it was... Well,
Yeah,
you know,
I'm dead.
Well,
I'm
what's
just flavoring it. I had 4 HP left.
Oh, really? Oh, that's -10 hit points? Okay, yeah, okay, that's fine. I was going to say you might still be up. All right, yeah. It breaks your ranger's neck. And the crowd like boos and stuff, and those 5 guys run back out with their spears and kind of stab the zombies until they die. Pinesta. I hope you didn't put money down on the ranger.
No. I just wanted to watch. But now I've watched someone else die. So I'm just going to go drink with Brighild and Revna.
Do you even tell them?
What I'm going to do is go down because, well, I'm assuming we have her things because she had the eye patch and stuff.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have any weapons on you, right, Zenia?
Right. I left like most of my stuff on the boat. I really only took like a short sword and that armor, and then the pistol to turn that in.
Okay.
I imagine I left most of my stuff on the boat.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't have needed it in town.
Yeah, I'm going to go to where Brighild and Revna are drinking. I'm going to order pomegranate wine, and I'm going to look at those 2, and I'm going to say, well, we need a new ranger.
Brighild listens to you and she looks at you and stares you in the eyes and she goes, sometimes the light does not shine for all of us. Drink up. We'll need it.
Look at Brighild and say, you're right. Remind me never to go to the arena again. I'm very, very tired of watching people die. And I'll just start drinking.
Uller says that the gods help those that help themselves. And
Speaking of that, go ahead, sorry.
and things like arenas, I'll never understand. You know, my people will circle up around a fire and fight for practice and things such as that. And sometimes the fights can be brutal, but never. And they'll fight to the death for, reasons of matter. But things like going to an arena to fight for sport and risking your life, it's a foolish thing.
It is. I
You'll
knew a
never-
Viking once, though. That was pretty foolish that way.
Well, I mean, they're not all Vikings are smart, just like anyone else. Some of them can be rather full of themselves, and I'm sure that Viking held their own, but there's just, if I'm going to die in battle, I'd rather it be against, a true enemy. So
Well,
we will drink and lament.
yes.
for Zinnia, but by the same token, what in God's name was she thinking?
I
I
don't
don't know.
believe she was thinking that is the problem, but it was her life and her choice. And as I say, sometimes the light does not shine for all of us.
There's wisdom in that. I guess one good thing to say is that she did it on. She left on her own terms. She knew what she was getting into.
Yes, and she could have run. She survived Amigo, only to die here. Just seems kind of pointless for me.
I don't know. I am finished talking about this. See the young man in the corner with the dark hair? I've had
Yes.
my eye on him. I will see you all in the morning.
Oh,
Enjoy yourself, my darling.
I raise my flag and I'll say, "Go get him, Tiger."
Yep. I also
Rush.
kind of raise my glass to Breakhilt. You
Rush.
deserve it.
Roll me a d12.
Oh, okay.
Those who reach into pockets.
Yeah, I was gonna renege on that one, but now I'm just
no.
screw it. Screw it. Let's do it.
No,
Okay.
there's no reneging. Once you're there, you're there.
Yeah. Damn it. Where's the? Okay. Roll 12. An 11.
Oh, no.
Higher is better.
No, it's not.
No.
Okay.
No, you have, I think, a 6 in 12 chance of. So that was a terrible, terrible. In fact, that was so bad that it was like super obvious. You're going to
Yes.
pick this guy's pocket, and he just looks at you and he says, "What are you doing? I'm married."
So you're married? I start acting drunk immediately, and I'm like, "You're not my husband, are you?"
If you were my wife, you wouldn't be a drunk in public like this.
That's probably a good point. A proper woman should never be drinking in public. You are right. I will not touch another glass. Thank you so much. You look just like a man I used to be married to. I'm sorry.
What's your charisma?
My charisma is 11, but
What?
I think I have the ability.
Oh, you have an
Hold on.
ability.
I thought I had. Nope, I must be thinking of a different game.
There's no seduction in this.
No, it's not seduction. I thought I had like a manipulation or something, but I may be getting Friday's game confused. I could have swore I thought I had something like that though.
Well, you have a skill called manipulate traps, but this guy is not a trap. He's also not
No.
very happy with the 5 on the reaction.
I thought a Ledgermane had something. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I
Do
thought a
you-
Ledgermane had something like that, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't know. If you do, then let me know because this guy's not happy.
Boy.
And he basically says to you, he looks at you and he says, "You'll buy rounds for this entire table, or the town guard will be called."
I mean, okay. Can I have one? I'm still acting drunk. Can I have one too? No, I'm not supposed to have any more. You said I couldn't have any more. Yes, I will buy one for everybody at the table. I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
That's going to cost you 5 gold pieces. And if you do not come up with 5 gold pieces to pay for that, then he is going to call town guard, which you may or may not want to happen.
No, I don't think I want that. I don't know exactly how much gold I have, but I should have that much.
You sound
So,
like
yeah.
a drunk.
Well, it's because of the character, and with me being on the ship, I didn't know how you were doing the gold. So
Yeah. Well, I
I
told
know
that
how.
because you could have 50 gold pieces, so you can have 50 as well. So 50 is what you have.
Oh, all right. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Okay, so there you go. So
Yeah.
now I got 45. Yes, I buy
Okay.
everybody, and then I put my hand on his shoulder, and I say, "Do you want to play? Do you, do you want a plate of bread too?"
I suggest you leave.
Okay. And I turn around, and as soon as he says that, I just start stumbling back over toward the table with Panesta.
Can Bricky'll see all that going on?
Yeah, I'm sure.
She's going to whistle at Revna and put her arm around the guy that she's with and whistle and at Revna and kind of give her the look like, I got mine, you lost yours.
Nice.
Ah! She's gonna walk by and like push her hood back, but when she pushes her hood back off her head, she's gonna like use her middle finger to do it.
Wow.
And then she's gonna sit down and then smirk at Brighill, then look at Vanessa and said, "Well, yeah, I think I'm gonna keep my hands to my out of other people's pockets tonight because that was a close one."
Yep, I would agree with that. You're no Kassan.
Uh,
Yes.
I don't know who that is, but yeah, it's just bad luck. I think tonight has been a night of bad luck all around, and I shouldn't have pushed it. Never push the fates.
This is probably wise words, my friend.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so Crystal, do you already have another character?
I believe I do have a character. I don't have it in roll 20 yet, but I do have one.
I mean, is it a character you want to use? Because you could
Yes.
you could join the crew as they depart as one of the people that Aramis recommends, unless somehow you have some other connection to the party, which I don't know, unless it's somebody that you've predetermined.
Let's see. I have two here, but I'm not sure which ones I've leveled up and which ones I haven't. I have a priest.
Sorry. I just noticed your picture. It says you died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see. I have a priest and a fighter. I haven't messed with the fighter yet at all though. So I do not have a fighter. I have a priest.
I mean, is that who you want to play? If not, then you can just bring them in next time in Krenfac.
Yeah. I'll bring in my priest.
Okay.
Her name is. Oh well, I can just introduce her to the group when we do before we depart. Or I mean, like, do you want me to introduce her now?
Well, we're going to figure out how Aramis knows her, and he's going to recommend that she joins the crew.
She's a half-blood Pict. She's a priest, and she worships Raven, the Raven.
Lulu? Okay, perfect. Half blood picked. Well, that's basically what they are here, right? They're half blood, half picked, half
Oh, then that's
half,
perfect.
half Eskimo. Well, no, then that would make you a slave, which you probably don't want to be.
Half blood picked is basically a wild woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay. I mean, we'll just say that
she
you're in
could've-
town. You somehow you. Yeah. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
she could have been a priest. Like, I mean, she's a priest, so maybe she was just like for like for the slaves. Like, she uh
You're in town.
presided over them.
You've got 4 more days left in the festival. Somehow you guys are drinking and you meet up. That's just the simplest way to do it. And you guys are looking for a new person. So let's just say that. Where it's during Saturnalia. Tell us about your character as they come into the Saturn's Cup where the party's hanging out, so we can know about who might join this party of adventurers. Oh, really? That's the priest?
Yeah, that's the priestess.
I
Looks
don't
more like a
see the
witch.
priest dressed that way.
It was the. I'll find a new picture before next session.
Oh, man.
Okay. Dark haired. She's a dark haired woman. Uh, uh, sh- Her name is. Sorry, let me change her name. Her name is Budaka Tuka. Budaka is going to be the important part here. Yeah, she's a priest of the Raven. She used to be a riverman. She used to carry people across the rivers, but now she carries people into the feathery wings of her god, the Raven. I don't
Okay.
have
How do you
much
spell your
thought.
name?
I'm about to change it in thing now.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so you need time to like kind of flesh out this character, basically.
Yeah, I
That's
even
fine.
you know.
It's fine. We'll just say that you meet up with the party in Xambaala, through various means, and I mean it's already 10 o'clock. We could probably wrap up here, and we'll just do the Krent fact next time, because I don't want you to work with a half character. If everybody's okay with that.
Yeah, that's
Okay with
fine.
that.
Yeah, and we can just basically be on the way to Krenfak. We can start on the boat next time. So if there's anything anybody want to do in Xambaala while you're here, speak now or forever hold your peace.
I think I've done it all that I wanted to do.
Okay. Unfortunately, you did
And
not get to
then
talk to the
some.
ranger.
No.
Yes, that took a very interesting turn. So we're going to start off on we're going to start next time on the 17th day of the 4th month of the 11th year at sea, because you will have picked up your goods, and by then I will have whatever crew he can get for you, and I'll share that in the group, so you guys will have your soldiers and such. And by then Crystal will have her character worked out, and we'll be good to go.
And I would like to go to Krenfak and do the trading, and then try to talk to the shaman before we go back.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. Yeah, we can definitely. Okay. We'll start on the way to Krenfak, because that way, if you guys want to do anything else on the way, you can. You won't be too far out of Xambaala. And if anybody thinks of something that you're not thinking of right this second, I don't want to restrict you from doing it because you can't come up with it right this second. We could always backpedal back into Xambaala, but I'm going to plan on starting on the boat on the way back. Everybody's okay with that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that way we can get moving.
Yeah. Any final thoughts or laments for the dead characters?
I mean, Revna didn't really know her well enough, other than she was just somebody riding on the boat. So,
well, if you want to get to know the characters better, you can always like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. These poor bandits keep actual play. And if you like good information about old school gaming, you can always go like Daniel's other channel at Bandits Keep.
Well, that seems like good advice. Thank you.